Welcome to Chemistry 1451's lab. This week's lab is about measurements and how to accurately measure things using different lab equipment. But before we start, we will need our lab safety equipment, which is the gloves and our goggles that we have to have on all the time. Part A. Preparing of decarbonated soda. The lab equipment that we will need for this lab is a hot plate, a 250 milliliter beaker, a watch glass, boiling chips, and soda. After we got our lab equipment, we can start getting the 250 milliliter beaker. We will fill it with soda until the 200 milliliter mark. Then we will add the boiling chips. We can add 2 to 3 boiling chips. Here I added 3. Then getting our watch glass, we will cover our beaker to minimize evaporation. Then we will place our beaker on the hot plate until it boils. After the soda have boiled, we bring our tongue to remove the beaker. But first, don't forget to turn off your hot plate for it to cool down. And now using the tongue, we're removing our beaker and putting it on the bench so it can cool down for part C. Part B, basic measurements, aluminum foil. For this part, we will need 3 aluminum foils and a ruler. First, we will need to measure the width for each aluminum foil using the centimeter part of the ruler and the length. Then going to the balance, we are gonna zero the balance first and then measure the mass of our aluminum foil. Water. The equipment that we'll need for this part is a 50 milliliter graduated cylinder, a 250 milliliter beaker, and 3 50 milliliter beakers, and a thermometer. Then getting our 250 milliliter beaker, we're gonna fill it to the 200 milliliter mark with DI water. Now we will get our 250 milliliter beaker that contains the DI water and insert the thermometer and wait 5 minutes. After the 5 minute finishes, read the temperature out of the thermometer and go to your density table that you will find on the hood that have the materials that you will need. Then record your density. After recording the density, we will mark the 3 beakers with A, B, and C. After marking them, we're going to go to the balance and measure the mass of the empty beakers. After measuring the mass for the 3 beakers, we're going to get our graduated cylinder and the DI water that we had left for 5 minutes. We'll remove our thermometer, and then for beaker A, we'll obtain 10 milliliters of water. For beaker B, we're going to obtain 20 milliliters of water. And finally, we were going to obtain 30 milliliters of water for our 3rd beaker, which is beaker C. After that, we're going to get our 3 beakers and measure the mass of each one of them and record it. Don't forget to zero your balance before measuring each mass. Irregular shape. For this part, we will need the DI water from the part before, 100 milliliter graduated cylinder, and a stopper. Going back to our balance, we're going to measure the mass of our stopper. Now getting our 100 milliliter graduated cylinder, we're going to fill it with 50 milliliter of water, then recording the volume of the water, then bringing our stopper, we will slide it in carefully so it doesn't hit the bottom of the cylinder and break the cylinder, and then we're going to record our volume. Part C, specific gravity. The things we will need for part C is a 250 milliliter graduated cylinder, 100 milliliter graduated cylinder, a 250 volumetric flask, a 400 milliliter beaker, a 250 milliliter beaker, a 50 milliliter beaker, and sucrose, which is sugar, and a scapula, and the hydrometer. Now measuring the specific gravity for water. We will obtain 200 milliliter DI water and fill our 250 milliliter graduated cylinder until the 200 milliliter mark. Now using the hydrometer, we will measure the specific gravity. We will use this part to read our hydrometer where you can see 0.100. Getting closer, we will use this part of the hydrometer to read our specific gravity. Now we will slowly put our hydrometer into the water without dropping it, because if you drop it too quickly, then the tip of the hydrometer may hit the bottom of the cylinder and break. Now read your specific gravity and record it in your manual. Remember to read it from the meniscus. Now follow your manual, make the 3 standard solutions. Now we will do the same steps for our 3 standard solutions. We will fill the cylinder to the 200 milliliter mark as we did in the DI water. Afterwards, getting our hydrometer, we will measure the specific gravity of the solution. Make sure to insert your hydrometer slowly so it doesn't hit the bottom and break. And if there is any air bubbles in the solution, we have to remove them. We can remove them by spinning the hydrometer a little bit until the air bubbles disappear, so we have an accurate measurement. Afterwards, you can read the specific gravity for each of the solutions. After you finish from the 3 solutions, you remove the hydrometer. Make sure to dry it well and wash with DI water. After you finish with the 3 solutions, don't forget to not put the solutions in the sink. Pour them in the waste container and they go to the non-halogenated waste. For our last part, we will need a 250 milliliter graduated cylinder, our hydrometer, which you can read from this part, and we'll be needing Gatorade and our decarbonated soda that we had from part A. Now we can measure the specific gravity for Gatorade and our decarbonated soda as the part before. After we finish, we get all our waste and go to our waste container. We were gonna pour the solution in the non-halogenated waste that we have. Make sure to close it afterwards and close the hood.